Hello, and welcome to the Lever Report, a weekly video newsletter for human-centric leaders to navigate the week ahead. I'm Drew Fortin, here with your latest update for the week starting Monday, October 6th, 2025. The market surged last week despite a government shutdown, how Workday got 79% of its workforce to adopt AI, new roles are emerging around cleaning up AI Workslop, OpenAI shows how AI is impacting GDP, and how most CEOs see AI agents on their org chart within the next 5 years. Here's the news to start your week. Despite the US government shutdown that has delayed the release of the key monthly jobs report, the stock market capped off another winning week with the Dow Jones Industrial Average and S&P 500 both closing at fresh all-time highs. AI continues to be the primary driver for this upward momentum, which has largely outweighed concerns over the lack of labor data and softening labor market. Goldman Sachs CEO David Solomon even weighed in last week, saying he expects the US economy to accelerate into 2026, fueled by continued stimulus and the massive AI infrastructure build. However, Solomon also offered a note of caution, suggesting he wouldn't be surprised to see a market drawdown in the next 12 to 24 months, given the long run up in stocks driven by the few large AI plays. The delayed September jobs report from the Bureau of Labor Statistics leaves the Federal Reserve, investors, and business leaders in the dark at a pivotal moment, forcing them to rely on private data like the ADP's report of net losses of 32,000 private sector jobs in September. Enterprise HR software giant Workday has successfully launched an initiative called Everyday AI to overcome employee hesitancy and drive AI adoption in the workplace, as reported by HR Brew. After internal research showed employees weren't using AI because they were unclear on the appropriate use cases, Workday launched a company-wide push. This included an April town hall where their CEO, Carl Urschenbach, and other employees shared their personal AI use cases. This approach was deliberately chosen over general training to better engage and inspire the workforce. By June, this strategy, which also includes providing managers with prompt cards and gamifying AI use, resulted in 79% of Workday employees using the technology. This exceeded the company's internal goal. Workday's Chief People Officer, Ashley Goldsmith, noted in the article that the HR team has seen particular success, with their recruiting agent streamlining sourcing and selection, which led to a 12% decrease in recruiter workload. Now, this success story from Workday offers a blueprint for business leaders struggling to realize a return on their AI investments. Instead of focusing solely on the technology, it's important for leaders to prioritize making the use case personal and practical for every employee, encouraging experimentation, sharing real-world examples from peers, and focusing on incorporating AI into the specific team goals. And in Workday's case, every employee was mandated to set an AI use goal. The 12% time savings in recruiting demonstrates that when AI handles lower value tasks, your team can reallocate that time to crucial human-centric work, like better facilitated post-interview debriefs and deeper candidate engagement. This is a great example of what great looks like in change management. If HR follows the same advice it gives to the company by embracing and demonstrating the value of AI in its own function, it can truly lead the charge in organizational transformation and increasing productivity. While AI has promised a revolution in productivity, new data from the Upwork monthly hiring report for September reveals a costly side effect businesses are now combating: Workslop. Workslop is defined as a subpar output and hallucinations from AI tools, and it is a significant productivity drain. According to the report, 40% of employees have experienced Workslop, and it takes an average of 2 hours to resolve each incident. This is driving a massive new demand for human-centric skills that can provide quality control, context, and creative refinement. As a result, Upwork's marketplace saw a dramatic 102% surge in project management hiring among small and medium-sized businesses, a 29% growth in demand for translation and localization, and a 26% increase in recruiting and human resources services. This Upwork report underscores the critical truth that the future of work is about human AI collaboration, not simple substitution. As leaders, we must recognize that our AI investments return is tied directly to the quality of the human oversight you build into your processes. Instead of seeing AI as a tool to entirely replace tasks, we need to focus on leveraging it for the heavy lifting of redundant work and then strategically deploying human talent as the critical layer for quality control and refinement. This is an operational challenge that demands new skills for project managers and quality assurance professionals who can effectively structure and govern the output of AI tools. By mitigating work slop, we turn a potential productivity killer into a lever for precision and operational efficiency. This is fulfilling the promise of AI. OpenAI has introduced a new crucial evaluation framework called GDP-Val to measure how well AI models perform on, quote, economically valuable real-world tasks across a broad range of knowledge work occupations. The GDP-Val evaluation spans 1,320 specialized tasks across 44 occupations from the top 9 U.S. industries contributing to the GDP, with each task based on real work product like a legal brief or a nursing care plan. Early results from blind expert comparisons show that the best frontier models, such as Claude Opus 4.1 and GPT-5, are already approaching the quality of work produced by industry experts, with the top model rated as good as or better than humans in nearly half the tasks. Perhaps most strikingly, the models completed these tasks about 100 times faster and 100 times cheaper than human experts, demonstrating an exponential rate of improvement over time. This data reinforces the notion that AI is transforming tasks within jobs, allowing people to focus on the creative, judgment-heavy work that only humans can provide. The New World benchmark here provides leaders with first ever concrete data on AI's ability to drive genuine economic value, which moves the conversation from speculation to strategy. This is the beginning of a database that managers can use to map internal roles to the 44 occupations covered by GDP-Val, accurately identifying and prioritizing which tasks can be confidently delegated to AI for augmentation. Most importantly, this data provides a rationale for upskilling initiatives that train employees on using AI, as it validates the immense time and cost savings that occur when human professionals are freed up to focus on higher value activities, such as complex problem solving and client relationships. This is just more proof that in the long run, businesses will benefit from focusing their talent strategy on developing human judgment, emotional intelligence, and critical thinking, the skills that AI cannot yet measure or replicate, to ensure their workforce remains at the leading edge of creating productivity and value. Digital labor, specifically in the form of AI agents, is anticipated to have a more profound impact on businesses than the internet or cloud computing, according to new research on the voice of the CEO on digital labor from the International Data Corporation, or IDC, which was commissioned by the Salesforce. Over half of the CEOs surveyed in the report, 57%, expect digital labor to have a greater impact than the internet, and 58% say it will have a greater impact than cloud computing. This belief is already translating into action, with 88% of executives expecting to increase their AI investments over the next year by an average of 30%. In fact, nearly 3/4 of CEOs, 73%, agree that digital labor will transform their organizational structure. Now, this seismic shift anticipated by CEOs means HR and talent strategy must immediately move beyond reactive planning. And while we may be a ways off from a fully autonomous AI agent doing work of an individual, 72% of CEOs predict that their employees will have an AI agent reporting to them in the next 5 years. So going through the exercise to map out what responsibilities can be outsourced to AI and start thinking about how AI agents will impact the org chart is a good place to start. Second, the report fully notes that fully prepared CEOs recognize that focusing on ethics and governance and guardrails is twice as critical to success as those who are only somewhat prepared. Beyond training on AI use, this means that businesses should allocate time to consider AI ethics in deployment, actively incorporating education on AI literacy, governance, and strategic work where human judgment remains paramount into their upskilling efforts. And that's your Lever Report. Check the show notes for any articles or research we covered today. If you're enjoying this content, please show your support by liking this video, dropping a comment, and subscribing to our channel. I hope you have a productive week, and we'll see you on the other side.